Hey guys, I'm here at Freshwater Station. We're racing today. I'm really keen.
Hey guys, here at Freshwater Station.
Dude, what are you doing?
You're in my shot.
Mate, I'm trying to film a vlog here.
I'm trying to film a vlog here.
I'm trying to film for my subscribers. Come on, man, this is ridiculous.
So anyway, I'm at Freshwater Station.
Oh, shut up.
No, you shut up.
Hey guys, so yesterday I did a race. Now I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about said race before we launch into the video. So this race is a race that I have looked forward to for years. I've wanted to do it for years, and I've got a fair backstory about this race personally. But the race itself is a really unique kind of race. It's a train race. So it starts at a train station here in Cairns, and you're racing against a train up a mountain range to the train station in Kuranda. So it's all about beating the train. And as when I first moved to Cairns and I first heard about this race, I'm like, wow, I want to do that. It was something that was really daunting back then, but I've just wanted to do it ever since I've lived here, and that's like 7 years now. So I finally got to do that race for the first time, and I've got a video coming up. But my story, the reason why it's taken me so long to do this race, well, one, I wasn't fit enough for a long time, and it was really daunting. Then in 2019, that was my yes year for everything running and racing. I just said yes to any race, anything we talked about. I'm like, yes, I'm doing it. So I registered for the train race, and the week before the train race in 2019, my son got hand, foot and mouth disease. So I stayed home with him for the week leading up to it. And then the day before the train race this year, I got the hand, foot and mouth from my son. And so I didn't get to do the train race in 2019, even though I was registered and I was ready to go. And that was really disappointing. Then in 2020, I was one of the first people registered. And of course, 2020 happened. Didn't get to do the train race, they cancelled it, and they just couldn't find a way to put it back on again later on in the year. So when 2021 finally rolled around, I was already registered. I said to them in 2020, nah, keep my money, I'm registering, I'm doing it next year. And yeah, it rolled around, I'm like, hey, I'm in. And yeah, so I was number 3 on the day because I was one of the third registered. Super excited to do this race. So the race is, they call it 3 parts, but I call it 4 distinct parts. So there's the first part, which is on the road from the Freshwater Station here in Cairns to the base of the mountain range, which is at Stony Creek. Then you take the Stony Creek Trail up to the top of basically the Stony Creek Trail, which is up the top of the mountain range that you can see from the ground here in Cairns, and it's about 300 odd meters of elevation over a couple of kilometers. So it's essentially a trail straight up. Then from there, so that's the second part. Then the third part is a 4-wheel drive track for about, I think it's about 4 Ks, but it's 4-wheel drive track through the mountain range. And so it's up and it's down and it's up and it's down. And the amount of rain that we get here in Cairns means that any 4-wheel drive track is still basically a technical trail. You know, if you're not watching every single step that you're taking on the downhill, you're gonna break your ankle. And then you get into Kuranda itself, which again is a mountainous area. So you're running on asphalt path and road then, but it's all mountains and stairs and yeah. So 17 Ks in total, but it's just an incredible race. It's a completely different beast to anything else. I happened to be in a position where I had 2 GoPros for the day. So I took this one, I gave the other one to my friend Nathan, who's recorded some stuff as well. Hope you enjoy. This is my recap of the Cairns to Kuranda Train race. How you feeling, Nathan?
Amazing.
Ready to race?
Hey.
Ready to race?
Yeah, we'll see how we go.
Excellent.
How about you?
Oh, great.
You excited?
Oh, so excited.
Your first race without a disease.
You think you're excited? Feel those nipples. Right, so we're here, just warming up, quick warm-up jog before the train race.
Wait, this isn't the race?
No, this isn't the race
I
yet.
conserve my energy.
Okay, we should walk. Better, much better. Great. Okay, so yeah, here for the Cairns to Kuranda train race. Just got to run up the mountain and beat the train.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
Pretty easy.
Yeah.
We can
Train's
do this.
moving.
Well, not yet, it's not.
Yeah, it's true. It's not even here.
No, it's not even here yet, so we're fine.
So we won't have time for a warm-up, so we will get it while it's cold.
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect.
All right guys, start line's coming up soon. I'll talk to you when we're on the run. See you guys.
Needs to be off-centre and slightly askew.
Excellent.
And multiple stabs to your tummy.
It's okay.
All good to go.
If you're not bleeding, you didn't do it properly.
That's all right.
Okay, thanks for coming along to the 10th train race. It's good to see everybody here supporting the event. Some sad news is that the train is not racing today.
Okay, so we've just got some terrible news. There's no train for today's train race. Nathan, our welding engineer here, is going to tell us all about what happened.
Yeah, the front fell off, Andrew.
Oh, should the front have fallen off?
No, not at all. These things are designed to be very strong in the front.
So what happened to this one?
Well, the front fell off, obviously. But yeah, it's not supposed to happen.
Okay. So how are we going to prevent this from happening in the future?
Well, in the future, we're going to make it so the front doesn't fall off at all.
But was the front not supposed to fall off this one?
No, not at all. 1K's in the distance over there. We now have to run the distance to run the distance.
We're ready.
Yes.
So we're 4.5 k's in
I've just run up a couple of hills, a couple of steep inclines. Hopefully that's it for the vertical gain for this run. Yeah, legs really uphill on the hill climbing today. We'll see how we go. But yeah, that should be pretty flat from here. They're quite high, those hills. Okay, so we're currently power hiking up Stony Creek Trail. Little known facts about Stony Creek Trail.
Okay, just before we talk facts, I just want to put a little warning out there. Some of these facts that you're about to hear about the local area and some of the landmarks may not be 100% historically accurate. It's really hard mid-run in the heat to remember historically accurate facts. If you're looking for a historically accurate documentary on the Cairns to Kuranda Trail network, I would finish watching this video because it's awesome, but I'd probably go somewhere else for the historically accurate facts.
There's a trail that was discovered first by Europeans, obviously by indigenous cultures long before that, and first discovered by Europeans in 1972 by a female explorer named Elizabeth Stoney, hence the name for it. Just an amazing coincidence that it also happens to have many, many rocks. This is hard work. I was wrong about the hills. It's not flat. It's the opposite of flat. Better concentrate here. Talk to you guys soon.
Video vlog, elevation.
Hey, travelling Dave.
Hey,
Talk us through, mate.
keep going.
Oh, hey, travelling.
I want to follow you.
Oh,
You're a good pacer.
don't give me that. Way too much pressure.
You're doing well.
I'm dying out here. So, we're coming up to one of the most beautiful lookouts on this trail. Someone stole me breath. Anyway, we'll just come up here 10 metres. We get to see a beautiful view. Rainforest clears. And there it is. You beauty. No sign of Andrew yet, but I'm sure he's back there somewhere. Just coming to the top of the Stony Creek track. You get some beautiful views here, overlooking Cairns, surrounding areas, and over the Barron Gorge. We're not stopping to look at them though, because this is a race, and we're going to keep running. Do I? Don't I? You. Keep going. No chair. Chair. Another beautiful view of Cairns. Amazing. It's so beautiful to take part in a race that you're in amongst nature, and it just feels like this part of the world hasn't been touched by human hands for hundreds and thousands of years. Like, just no signs of human civilization anywhere around us. It's just beautiful. Okay, so I've just reached the top of the Stony Creek path. We're now heading on to the McDonald track. The McDonald track, obviously named after the great children's entertainer Ronald McDonald, discovered back in 1972, and used to cart burgers back and forth between Kuranda and Cairns. Alright guys, I gotta start jogging. How you doing? Don't tell him, but that guy there, I'm gonna beat him. I want to beat him. That's my aim. Keep going. Just past the Glacier Rock turn off.
The reason the glacier rock exists is because in 1972 the government changed the layout of this area. It used to be an ice tundra, and that was an actual glacier. But the government thought there'd be more tourist dollars in rainforest, so they changed it. And they obviously kept the rock for historical purposes. No sign of Andrew yet. I'm sure he's plodding along. See you later.
Sitting on, so I just passed through about 10 k's. The first 5 k's significantly quicker than the second. Got some magnificent views out here to the right, just over Barron Gorge. But again, it's a race, so we're not going to stop. But it's quite lovely to look at. Oh, this track is a lot harder than I imagined. Despite it being a four-wheel drive track, being supposedly a lot easier, it's still quite technical when you're going down, and I struggle at going down. I'm reading Shane Benzie's book at the moment, The Lost Art of Running, and it's really resonating with me. I lack elasticity when I run. Tell you what else is lacking elasticity: my shorts. Keep pulling down on the downhills. Might have to be the last outing for those ones. Alright, downhill again. I'll see you soon.
Best thing about running these ups and downs, I learned this little trick back in the day. It was taught to me by a fellow back in 1972. He said to stick to this one rule: downhills are for jogging, uphills are for dying a slow and painful death. And I've stuck with that message.
Okay, so just coming up on a very obvious landmark. Creek. Could hear it coming from miles away. There's signs that there's a creek coming up everywhere. It's an interesting creek, got an interesting story. Nice. So interesting story about that creek. Named after one of Australia's lesser known explorers, Jack Surprise. He lesser known because he was actually mocked amongst the explorer community for discovering really obvious things. His other claim to fame is his discovery of Mount Surprise, which is a mountain in the middle of nowhere that everyone can see for hundreds of k's. So really quite an underappreciated explorer. But yeah, got a creek and a mountain named after him, so kings to you, Jack Surprise. Well done. Coming up the final climb now. Well, should be the final climb. 11.5 k's. Should hit the bitumen pretty soon. Hopefully start jogging a bit and bring it home. See you soon, guys.
Just as I predicted. A creek. We're in such a desolate part of this land that you'd be lucky to see a person within 100 miles. Oh, nearly fell over. Yeah, it's strange. I don't think it's been untouched by man. No sign of Andrew yet. I'm sure he's hot on the tail.
Every
past Wright's Lookout. I didn't stop. Gets the race. Alright, running downhill now. Fair bit up and down as we come into town. Flip you around, clip you onto the pack, take you on path. Probably won't talk too much until I'm in town. And I'll actually try, have a crack, try and beat this fella in front. Alright, see you soon, guys.
Okay, so that was my race. Just under 17 Ks in the end, according to my Coros watch. Look, it was amazing. It was incredibly hot. It was a brutal race. I described it at the end, and I was talking to people at the end about it was a race that just kept hitting you. No matter what, it just got harder and harder. Now, there's a really hard race here in Cairns called the Pyramid Race. I've done a video on that before. It's a tough race because you run to the base of a mountain, run up the mountain, and then run down the mountain, and then run back to the base. That's a tough 12K race, and people around here know it as the toughest race. But I don't know, I think this one's a little bit harder because this one, you've got flat road running, then you've got steep mountain running, and then you've got a lot of undulation and a lot of technical downhill stuff. But then, just to keep on giving, you get this sealed path that's supposed to be the easy part into town that is undulating and up and down stairs and windy turns. Like, it's just, no matter every corner you go round, it just keeps hitting you how much harder that is. You go around the last corner and you're running along the river and it's flat, and the lady at the corner said to me, it's 700 meters to go, and I'm like, beautiful, and I hit my straps and I ran. But there were like 4 surface changes in that 700 meters, and it seemed to go for hours. But yeah, it's an awesome race. Today, feeling it a little bit in my quads. I haven't run this morning. I had planned to, but yeah, I woke up and it's just like, nah, there's just too much soreness in my body that feels like jarring. So I will give it a day. I'll go for a bit of a walk tonight, and then I'll get out tomorrow morning for a jog. But yeah, absolutely brilliant race. I will be signed up next year for that one, for sure. It's one of those races that it's actually worth traveling for, because it's really odd, the idea of racing a train. Even though we didn't race the train yesterday, I can imagine that feeling of racing the train would be awesome. To put it in perspective, I finished in 1:53.42, and I would have been beaten by the train by about 20 minutes. So yeah, it's not an easy race, but gee, it was good fun. Highly recommend, if you're traveling near Cairns or in Australia, definitely check it out. It's well worth it. Okay guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, or your favorite historical fact about the Cairns to Kuranda Railway Network, Trail Network. Post your favourite fact down the bottom. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching. See you next time, guys.